Hello, everyone. A very logical evening to all of you. Let's see this. So, we are going to discuss the WAT, that is the written ability test, how to prepare for the Symbiosis written ability test. That is what you can see now on the screen here. That is WAT. Let's see how to prepare for it and what all you need to do, what all you need to keep in mind, how to write. Yes, logical evening, Adhiraj. Michelle, logical evening. Let's see how what you have done till now, if anybody can answer this. Have you been reading something particularly? Have you been reading about the current topics? ये सब भी करना ही है. So if we can start here. This is what honing your writing skills. Honing means polishing. So you must have prepared something. You must be writing something. You should be rather writing something if you know that you have to appear for this. Yes, Mrityunjay, logical evening. So let's see what you can do to make or improve your writing. Just not many days left, so you need to polish your writing skills. Here, what we are going to discuss today in this short duration, you can say, is the relevance of this test, the types of questions that they can throw at you to write about. Then what gets checked? Of course, if you're writing, what does that examiner want to see in your write-up? Preparation required, what you have to do in these last few days and how to think. Of course, if you are thinking, if you are writing, you need to think first. And for thinking, you need content. If you don't have that content in your mind, you won't be able to write. So that would be simultaneous. If you're building on the content, fine. That is why we always tell you to read. So read a lot and read varied topics. Always we stress on this. Why? It is not about cramming anything. It is about getting that knowledge somewhere deep, somewhere in the subconscious mind. All this will be retained there in your memory. And when the question comes, you will be able to think about it and then write. So, what to think, how to think, what to write, and then, of course, the do's and don'ts of this written test. Yes, Adhiraj, have you been practicing lately? Something that you have written? And I would suggest that you keep a notebook and a pen ready with you so that you are able to note down a few important tips that I'm going to give you. So one, the types of essays, the first and the most important one is legal essay. Legal, social, political, religious, right? If you are good at your domain, oh, social, political, religious, national, international news, if you have been reading, argumentative and static topics. Static topics कभी कभी आ सकते हैं, लेकिन legal topics तुम्हारे साथ मतलब you need to read all about that, right? And of course, national and international. If you have been reading the newspapers, as we suggest always, you give you the major articles also that are relevant. If you have been reading all that, then it will be easy for you to write about it. Yes, Adhiraj. Good. So here, now when we write, what gets checked? That means what do those people expect us or expect in our writing, right? So one of definitely your writing skills, but writing skills, writing style, I've given you both. Writing skills means how you can get that idea through into words, and that same idea should be reflected in whatever you are writing. वो writing skills होती हैं. The idea that you have in your mind, how you are changing it into words and putting it on paper. On paper in black and white means you are putting them in words. Contextual understanding of the major happenings. Contextual understanding would mean whatever is going on around the world, as I in the previous slide when I gave you the national and international, and that is what I was specifying, that you should be aware of what is going on. And if you are, it is not only the informative or the objective thing, the factual thing that you should know. It is also about the analysis of whatever is going on in the world, the various aspects, and therefore what we suggest you is to read the editorials. Why so? Read the idea page. Why? So that you can understand the other person's opinion there, right? And that is what we have been emphasizing since the very beginning. So your understanding of a particular topic, or of a particular incident, so that should, you should have a holistic view about it. It is not only the general view, but a holistic view and the opinion that is formed on that basis. Then you need to come up with your idea. So you know what is going on, fine. What is happening in Sudan, you know that. What happened in Turkey, you know that. That is the fact, right? But then how to generate that idea, how to think about it, what was the question asked, वो धीरे धीरे तुम्हें करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि idea दिमाग से ही आएगा. You know the content, and then you start thinking, and then you write. ऑफ कोर्स कैंडिडेट्स नॉलेज, इसीलिए तभी कहा था कि वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द मेजर हैपनिंग्स होना चाहिए, तो तुम्हारा नॉलेज भी चेक किया जाता है कि what analytical skill you have, not the basic knowledge only, but whether you are well versed with what is going on in the world. Definitely that is one point that they are going to check. Coherence would mean the understanding, the clarity. If you are putting your words clearly in clear sentences, the same idea should be trapped by the person who is reading it. So if you're the writer, there's a reader who should be getting the same idea that you have given. Coherent, coherence in your thoughts, coherence in your arguments, that is what is called. ठीक है, incoherent मतलब जो समझ में नहीं आता है, but whatever you are writing, if it is all topsy-turvy, you will not be able to convey your opinion to the reader. So you write very smoothly, write very straightforwardly, so that your idea is very clearly taken by the reader. Then flow and clarity of thought. इसका मतलब ये होगा कि how you are connecting one paragraph to the other paragraph, right? How you are not just digressing from one thought to the other, right? It's not a mix up of things. It should be a proper and smooth flow, and that is what the examiner is going to check. Whether you are consistent in your idea, whether you know what this one idea is, and then how to shift to the other point. This should be smooth and seamless, right? Of course, clarity of thought तभी दिख जाएगी. Writing style, whatever you are writing and how you are writing. Quality of content. Quality definitely matters everywhere. So the content means there's a huge lot of matter online. कहीं पे भी कुछ भी newspapers में, when we tell you to read the newspapers में बहुत कुछ देंगे. But the point here is to pick out all the relevant phrases, the relevant facts, form your opinions on that. Of course, taking somebody else's opinion also matters a lot. You need to understand that. And if your opinion is asked, you would come up with that. So the opinions related, the facts that you are providing, it is not just to just fill up your essay with facts. नहीं facts पूछा है हम तो बहुत सारे दे देंगे, हमें बहुत कुछ आता है, और बहुत कुछ आता है करके सब कुछ देना नहीं है उसे. जो relevant होगा, pertinent होगा, you need to give only that. Right? So you need to control, as we do in CR. No, you need to control, stick to what is given there. Similarly, you need to be, you may know a lot. Possible one case. Second case, you may know that thing very slightly. Third case, you may not know about that topic itself, right? So then again, it's like a panic situation हो जाएगा अगर वो topic के बारे में पता ही नहीं है तो. But keeping our fingers crossed, we'll think that, okay, fine, you have read most of the articles and you know a little bit about most of the topics, right? So the quality of content, your opinion, the facts that you are providing, the way you would analyze that and then form your own opinion, right? Here, this is a key. Now let us read it quickly, understand and analyze the topics. I'm repeating it. So take down, understand, analyze, but what? The topic first, right? Take a logical and a rational stand. डेफिनेटली रैशनल स्टैंड का मतलब होता है कि जो रियलिस्टिक भी हो, जो लॉजिक यूज करे. तो लॉजिकल LAW वाला भी करना है, लॉजिकल LOG वाला भी करना है, यही बात है. ठीक है. आइडियलिस्टिक नहीं होना चाहिए कि मतलब कि बहुत कुछ आता है तो ऐसा हो वैसा हो, इतना कुछ नहीं लिखना है. रैशनल, प्रैग्मेटिक, प्रैक्टिकल कर सकते हैं, सोच सकते हैं, हो सकता है. देन यू स्टार्ट राइटिंग अबाउट इट. Structure and how to make it concise is how to follow the structure I'll be taking in the further slides. Difficult words, I would always suggest bombastic words nahi use karne, difficult words not to use. Pompous, just to show that you know the words, do not. Your sentences should be framed in such a manner that it is easy for the person to read and understand. Yes, it should be striking, definitely, but the use of bombastic words in every sentence, not required. The person will get tired of reading it only. So not many, right? So of course, wisely use your legal knowledge. You may also use authentic facts, statistics, and even illustrations. Mention, explain karna nahi hai. Mention the things, mention a case, mention some incident, mention it only. Do not give the detail of it, that will be consuming a lot of time there. Okay. Relevant word count जो रहता है ना, even that matters a lot. So if you're putting it good many ideas there in the words of 350, 400, 450 words, whatever you are writing there in 30 minutes, let it be relevant. Unnecessary extension, unnecessary exaggeration will not do. Right, Adhiraj? Mrityunjay, are you able to understand? Michelle? Any doubt up till now? So start well, end better. Remember that brevity is the soul of it. The brevity means conciseness. The brief se word aata hai brevity, right? So you need to be concise, you need to be precise, you need to write short, not necessarily very lengthy sentences, right? And of course, end with an optimistic note, because if you understand the examiner's mind also, right? He is not going to read the complete article. He would focus more on the starting and he would focus more on the ending. So your ending should be optimistic. Always there's an optimistic note, ray of hope. होता ही है हमेशा किसी भी topic में, definitely. And the starting should also be the same. So I hope you have noted this. I'll move to the next slide. Here, here we start thinking, but now how to think? So the first thing, when you're given a topic, understand the topic. Aviral, that was, I told you to end it with an optimistic tone. So it should not be always depressing. इससे तो कुछ नहीं हो सकेगा ना. We can't do anything about it. This is so as it is. वो नहीं. Something can be done. That is what we can write. Right? What all can be suggested? This needs to be done, and definitely the government is going to do it. Yes, the signs are there that this is a step that the government is going to take. So come up with some positivity there. That is what my point is. Right? If you write it in this manner, we don't see that the government is going to do anything. There's no indication about that. अगर ऐसे लिखेंगे तो when the reader would read it, वो सोचेगा यार मतलब क्या ही है ये, उसका तो ओपिनियन ही नहीं बनता है कि वो seeing the negative side of everything. No, stay optimistic, and that means use better words, use good words, and use positive words. Right, Aviral? Correct? So now understand, analyze the topic. Well, the topic here you need to understand it first, because if you make a miss there, 30 minutes would be wasted there. तो पहले ध्यान से पढ़ो, 1 मिनट लगाओ उसको समझने में. As I always tell you, read the question, understand the question well. Similarly, read the topic. Do not write, do not think, do not read in a hurry. No. Patiently read the topic, analyze it. What has the questioner asked us? Then think, then start thinking. ठीक है, तो पहले एकदम से सोचना नहीं है क्योंकि बहुत सारे थॉट्स आ जाएंगे. Then everything will be just in a muddle. No. Patiently, you have 30 minutes, itna yaad rakhna, and you have 20 marks at stake, itna yaad rakhna. And what we have to write is 400 to 450 words. What to write? पहले हम सोचेंगे फिर लिखेंगे. तो सबसे पहला काम है understanding. Then we'll generate the idea, then we'll organize our passage, and then we are going to write. Right? Idea generation मतलब 1 मिनट आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग में लगेगा टॉपिक को understand it. Second, 1 minute take in generating the ideas. Then I'll give you tricks of how to generate the ideas also. So what to think about, because so many things would come into your mind. No. What to think, in which direction to go, I'll give you a short trick for that also, right? Once the ideas are generated, then organize them. And yes, you can note it down. थोड़ा सा लिख सकते हैं. And then you start writing. First, there should be a clarity. What you are going to write. It is not spontaneous कि आपने सोचा चलो ठीक है जो आते जाएगा वो लिखते जाएंगे लिखते जाएंगे लिखते जाएंगे. ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. मतलब टाइप भी कर लो. It is the one and the same thing. But spontaneous sentences बनेंगे. But what to write about, that is what you should be very clear about. Right? Mrityunjay, am I audible to you? Am I clear in the thought that I am giving you? That you need to understand the topic first. Second, analyze the topic. Third, think and organize. And then you start writing. Yes, Michelle? Here. Now, how to generate our ideas? हमने topic पढ़ा. ठीक है? I've given you 2-3 acronyms here. These are acronyms, right? So you also in your notebook kindly note it down. It is KWA, keyword approach. So keyword approach matlab, when you're reading the topic, pick out the important words there, and we have done this. So be careful कि point किस पे करना है हमें, important words, so that we are going to think on that then. So keyword approach will be the first for your introduction, right? Then for the body, we need this approach of viewpoint of the affected persons. That means whatever the topic is, there would be stakeholders around it. Right? Stakeholders कैसे होंगे? Well, those people who are getting affected. Suppose we come up with a national education policy जो अभी नहीं आई है, NEP. If there's any topic related to education, now who will be the stakeholders? Definitely the children, then the parents, then the school authorities, and of course the government and the society. Why not? All these aspects, we need to think about it, and then we'll start writing. So these are the stakeholders. We need to understand the viewpoint of the affected persons. If it is a new education policy, then how is that individual getting affected? How is the government being affected, or what is the government doing related to it? Then how are the parents getting affected, and how are the school authorities and the higher education system getting affected? Right? I hope you have understood this. The key stakeholders, you can say. So affected persons, मतलब persons, authorities, कुछ भी हो सकता है. Right? यहाँ पे society भी आ जाएगा एक. Clear? Then of course, any topic, SWOT analysis हमेशा होना चाहिए. So you know the strengths, you know the weaknesses. Of course, you can see the opportunities there, and then see the threats there. So now the example that I was taking over the NEP, you can come up with the strengths, और rather you can understand the opportunities. तो सोचो हमें opportunities के बारे में लिखना है, तो हमने उस पे सोचा, थोड़ा सा NEP का positive सोच के लिख लिया कि आगे opportunities क्या होंगी, fine. But there would be a few threats also. So if you want to write about threats, you think on that. So it is like the strength, what is best about it, what is the weakness there, what is the opportunity that will come our way, and what is the threat there. सबके बारे में नहीं लिखना है, अंडरस्टैंड? आई एम गिविंग यू दीज ट्रिक्स so that if in that particular topic you get a weakness, you get a threat, or you get a weakness and an opportunity, write about this. It is not necessary that you write about strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. बोला मैम ने ऐसा बोला तो हम सब लिखेंगे, सब नहीं लिखना है। तुम्हें जिस पे तुम अच्छे से फ्रेम कर सको सेंटेंसेस, then write that. If you can get the opportunities there, write about it. It's not necessary that you are writing about the threats also always, right? So something, this is only giving you an indication कि ठीक है, इस तरीके से सोचना शुरू करो. Are you getting my point, Michelle? You're not answering. Are you there, available? Then we started thinking, we understood the topic. Now we need to organize our thoughts. As I said, there would be many thoughts appearing into our mind. Crashing, gate crash करेंगे वो, पर हमें क्या करना है? उन्हें गेट के बाहर रोकना है, रुको, हम सिलेक्ट करेंगे and then you enter, right? So understand it this way. You need to organize your thoughts. Coder is the way how you would write. First, collect the thoughts. सबको इकट्ठा कर दो. Then, organize. पहले ये आएगा, फिर ये आएगा, फिर ये आएगा. ठीक. और उसमें से सारे thoughts को हम include नहीं करेंगे अपने article में. We don't have that much time. We don't have to write an essay like, say, about 1000 words or 1500 words. वो भी नहीं लिखना है. So select 400, 500 words, 450 words तक. So you need to be very careful about what you're writing or what aspect you're writing about, right? So organize those thoughts, then develop them. So pointer बना लिया हमने बस कि इसके बारे में हम ये लिखेंगे. Fine. उसको develop करो thought को. So this, all this, enumerate number लिखो 1, 2, 3, 4 चलेगा. अभी ये rough में लिख रहे हो आप. So 1 minute you took to understand the topic. You can spend 2 to 3 minutes. Patiently. You have enough time to write, type, anything. Patiently organize your thoughts. 3 पैराग्राफ्स में क्या लिखोगे, इंट्रो में क्या लिखेंगे, कंक्लूजन अपने आप आ जाएगा. वो जो 3 पैराग्राफ का जो बॉडी है ना, उसे समझ में आना चाहिए. यू शुड बी वेरी श्योर बिफोर यू स्टार्ट राइटिंग दैट दिस इज व्हाट यू नीड टू राइट ऑन. This aspect of the problem is what I'm writing on. I know I can write many things, but this is what I am containing myself into writing. Getting this point? अभय, कोडर समझ में आ गया? ये बस लिख लो, ठीक है? सोचो, मतलब एकदम क्रैम नहीं करना. यू डोंट नीड टू रोट इट, यू डोंट नीड टू क्रैम इट. आराम से, ग्रेजुअली, पेशेंटली समझ जाओ कि हमें अपने दिमाग को, हमारे थॉट्स को, वी नीड टू ऑर्गेनाइज देम. We need to list them. Okay, fine. First paragraph I'm writing this, second I'm writing this, third I'm writing this. ये होना चाहिए. इंट्रोडक्शन का एक जो इनिशियल थॉट होगा वो आ जाएगा तुम्हारे दिमाग में, एंड कंक्लूजन अपने आप हो जाएगा. सो इफ यू हैव रेड अ लॉट, राइट, इफ यू नो द कंटेंट, then you will be able to come up with this selection of the aspect of what you're going to write, right? Now this is I'll be giving you 2 to 3 short tricks जहां पे हम सोचना शुरू करेंगे कि आखिर हमें लिखना है, पर लिखेंगे क्या, तो हम सोचेंगे कैसे. फाइन. ये एक शॉर्ट ट्रिक है, स्पेल्ट. नोट इट डाउन इन योर नोटबुक ऑल्सो. स्पेल्ट में फर्स्ट, any topic would have these aspects. They would have a social aspect to it. They can have a political aspect, economic or environmental aspect, legal and technological. ठीक है? I'm repeating and you can see. Social, political, economic or environment, legal and technological. किसी भी टॉपिक में ये एस्पेक्ट्स पॉसिबल है. Are you getting this point? I hope you have noted this down. Quite easy, because you need to understand कि कहाँ सोचेंगे क्या और लिखेंगे क्या. तो सोचने के लिए भी तो हमें एक पॉइंटर चाहिए. ये सोचने का पॉइंटर है. हम लिखेंगे किसके बारे में ना. What I was talking about the stakeholders. So society, politics, economics, environment, anybody can be a stakeholder there. When we come to writing, I'll be giving you another technique after this. So when we come to writing, so freely express yourself but analyze. ये जरूर लिखना. Analyze करो, express करो what you feel like it, what your opinion is, because that is what they are asking you, and that is what they want to check also. How do you think about things? How do you express your opinions? Or whether you're lopsided, right, tending towards one direction, in the one direction, और biased about something, ये सारी चीजें वो लोग नोट करेंगे, तो इसलिए biasness नहीं होना चाहिए, neutral होना चाहिए. So analyze what you're writing, understand the nature of the topic, whether it needs a very intense writing or it needs how to, you'll understand how to handle that. Approximately 450 words and more words, इतना मतलब 450 words so you can write, I think so, in 25 minutes जो हमारे पास बचेंगे लिखने के लिए 450 words कर सकते हो. Approaches that I've given you, I gave you KWA, I gave you VAP, and then spelt अभी दिया है, एक कोडर दिया था, ठीक है. You can use those approaches. Sentences should be short, concise. Clarity in thoughts, I'm repeating because this is something that you need. बहुत सारे thoughts आएंगे, but clearly you need to put through. Structured, of course, हमने अपने sessions में भी किया है. When we do the reading comprehension, I have always focused on the structure. How to understand, right? Now, see, you are the writer, and the examiner has to understand what you have written. So, definitely, you have to follow the structure, right? And as I said earlier, avoid difficult words and don't be giving lessons. जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना, ज्ञान देना, वो इतना ज्ञान नहीं चाहिए उनको. उनके पास बहुत है, इतना मान के चलो. वो तुम्हारा ज्ञान चेक कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? तो तुम उनको ये मत बताओ कि देखो मुझे बहुत कुछ आता है. नहीं, क्या आता है नहीं. हाउ डू यू हैंडल थिंग्स, what is your opinion, that is what matters a lot. So don't give lessons to them. Introduction of your writing should be grabbing attention. मतलब एक झटका लगना चाहिए. ऐसे ना सोचो कि कितने सारे एसेज होंगे उनको हैंडल करने के लिए, कितने सारे एसेज उनको हजारों लोग दे रहे होंगे, तो फिर दे नीड टू रीड. आर दे गोइंग टू रीड द होल थिंग वन बाय वन, वर्ड टू वर्ड? नहीं, पॉसिबली नो. अट्रैक्टिव होगा तो ही वो पढ़ेंगे. बट व्हाट आर दे गोइंग टू रीड? इंट्रोडक्शन, ऑफ कोर्स they'll be able to settle, decide then and there. If the introduction is very good, very catchy, with a phrase or with a slogan or with a proverb, maybe with a small 2 lines of a poem, possible है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. अगर starting introduction तुम्हारा catchy है, so it's going to keep the examiner, the reader, glued to your essay. पढ़ेगा, देखेगा आगे क्या लिखा है. ब्यूटिफुल, राइट, ब्यूटिफुल वर्ड्स यू हैव यूज्ड, ब्यूटिफुल फ्रेजेस यू हैव यूज्ड. ऐसा बहुत ज्यादा फ्लावरी नहीं चाहिए, फैक्चुअल भी चाहिए, पर लिटरेरी टॉपिक नहीं है. मतलब मेनली तो लीगल आएगा, सोशल आएगा, तो यू कांट यूज all figures of speech and you can't use the flowery decorative language there, no. But intro should be striking, मतलब hitting the nail जैसा होता है ना, बिल्कुल वो होना चाहिए कि ऐसे पकड़ में आ जाए कि रीडर बोलेगा चलो एक दो पैराग्राफ और पढ़ लेते हैं. सो कीप दिस इन माइंड, योर इंट्रोडक्शन शुड बी वेरी कैची. बस एक कैची फ्रेज होना चाहिए. सिंपल लैंग्वेज में लिख सकते हो, राइट? ये मत सोचो ना दैट योर लैंग्वेज शुड बी bombastic, pompous, grandiloquent. Not necessary. What they are concerned about is your opinion about that particular matter. That's it. Let it be simple language. You won't be making grammatical mistakes there. फ्लो बनेगा, मतलब बहुत सोच के, ग्रामर सोच के नहीं लिखने का. सिंपल सेंटेंसेस लिखोगे तो करेक्ट सेंटेंसेस बनेंगे, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी नीड. वी डोंट नीड टू मेक एनी ग्रामेटिकल एरर्स देयर. डोंट ट्राई टू जस्ट जॉइन द सेंटेंसेस कि हाँ ये भी आता है, ये भी आता है, तो लेंथी सेंटेंस लिख लो. नहीं है. वैरायटी ऑफ सेंटेंस अगर आता है, यू नो हाउ टू मेक देम, डू. बट देन सिंपल लैंग्वेज वुड बी बेटर. डू नॉट डिफाइन द ऑब्वियस टर्म्स. मतलब आपने एक शॉर्ट फॉर्म लिखा, फिर आप फुल फॉर्म लिख लोगे उसका, ही तो पहले ही फुल फॉर्म लिख लो, राइट? सो ऑब्वियस टर्म्स जो है उन्हें डेफिनेशन नहीं देना, द रीडर नोज अबाउट इट. डोंट टेक अ स्टैंस. स्टैंस मीन्स aside. Pakka, adamant, I stick to this. Why? He needs to see whether you are open minded, whether you are able to see both the sides of that matter or no. Unless specifically ask you what is your opinion about it, to dena. Otherwise, no, be neutral. And apply, of course, the keyword approach. Apply karoge, so you'll be able to write 4 to 5 sentences about the introduction part. Right, now comes the body. So that means the main ideas would be there. पूरा theory होना चाहिए. Development of ideas हमने शुरू में देखा था कि हम सोचेंगे, फाइन सोचेंगे, तो कंसेप्ट बिल्ड होगा. हमारे पास 3 चीजें आ जाएंगी जहां पे हम 3 पैराग्राफ्स लिख लेंगे. And there should be coherence. That means some fact how that person is going to understand. So you can come up with some empirical data there. Arguments दे सकते हैं हम, pros and cons of the situation. Anything that is there, that is analysis we can do. We can come up with the pros and cons. ठीक है. Apply, हम यहाँ पे जो technique apply करेंगे, that is viewpoint of the affected persons. We did WAP, we did SWOT analysis, and we did SPELT. This is. Apart from that, I'm giving you 2 more techniques. जहाँ पे ज़्यादा broadly we can understand what is that. 3 to 4 paragraphs, and every paragraph has a point, and this is something that I've been repeating in the classes every time. Understand why would an author change a paragraph? ये तुम्हारे दिमाग में बात गूंजती होगी. Right, Aviral, Mrityunjay? How many paragraphs you're going to write? 3 to 4 paragraphs in the body. One introduction हो जाएगा, 3 to 4 paragraphs, short, average length, and last one would be a conclusion, right? So now I'll give you another technique here, that is pirates. ये spelled हमने कर लिया था. Social, political, economic, environmental, legal, and technological. This is pirates, right? Now you have a broader, a broader milieu of things. Political, I say industry, R say religion, A से आर्ट एंड कल्चर, T से टेक्नोलॉजी एंड साइंस ऐड कर लिया साथ में, क्योंकि एस में सोशल लिखना था, राइट? और ई के साथ इकोनॉमी, इकोलॉजी, एजुकेशन. S would stand for social, society. Because technology, science would go hand in hand, it will do. So it is this will push your mind into thinking in that manner. तो जो शुरू के 3 मिनट हमें देने हैं ना, what we need to organize our thoughts, that is where you are going to use all these techniques. So if you write down pirates, ये याद रहेगा. तो शॉर्ट में लिख भी देते हो अगर, तो नो प्रॉब्लम. नाउ यू नो यू कैन सिलेक्ट कि हम क्या क्या कैसे कैसे करें, राइट? तो हम पॉलिटिकल एंगल ले सकते हैं किसी भी चीज का. इंडस्ट्री कैन बी अ स्टेक होल्डर देयर, सो इफ इट हैज दैट इंडस्ट्री एंड बिजनेस वाला एंगल होगा तो वी कैन राइट दैट. रिलीजन हो, आर्ट एंड कल्चर हो, या सोसाइटी हो, इनमें से कोई भी 3 सिलेक्ट करना. सारे नहीं लिखने. जिसके ऊपर व्हेन यू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग यू विल गेट दैट आइडिया. अपने दिमाग पे भरोसा भी रखो, आइडियाज आएंगी. जो भी टॉपिक होगा यू विल कम अक्रॉस दोस आइडियाज, दोस थॉट्स. यू ओनली नीड टू अरेंज देम वेरी पेशेंटली एंड नोट कि ओके फाइन, आई एम गोइंग टू राइट अबाउट दीज 4 टॉपिक्स. सो सिलेक्ट 4, and if you are able to write all 4, fine. According to the time, if you are able to write 3, very good. And then conclusion. Don't leave your article in between के ना इतना लिखा कि ना एंड ही नहीं रखा. नहीं, आप लिखो इतना कि आप टाइम के हिसाब से उसे एंड भी कर लो, right? So if you have written 3 paragraphs in the body, it's okay, fine, no problem. But at least you select 4 and keep, so that if time permits, you can write on the 4th. And suppose while you're writing, are unable to think on what to write in that particular angle or aspect, then you can select the other one. So at least keep 4 handy. Am I making sense, Aviral, Mrityunjay, Michelle, and Adhiraj? तुम्हें समझ में आ रहा है, or am I going too fast? Aviral? This is the second point now. So faces. हमने ये तो सोच लिया, 4 पॉइंटर्स निकाल दिए कि हम किस किस के बारे में लिखेंगे. एक रिलीजन लिख लेंगे, राइट? टेक्नोलॉजी एंड साइंस वाला स्टेक होल्डर हम लिख लेंगे. Third, we'll write the political angle of it. And fourth, we'll write the technology or environmental angle to anything, right? Whatever the topic is. We have selected these four angles on what to write. But now, what to write? Aviral, prepare for the best. And if you have been reading throughout your preparation, you have read books, you have read articles, you do your GK, for the GK also, you do many things, right? So they would not give you a topic that is out of the world. वो देंगे वही current topics पे. So rest assured that if you have done all that in your preparation, reading and all, definitely you will be able to write. Right, Aviral? So don't think of those matters. कि क्या करेंगे अगर कुछ आएगा ही नहीं तो आ जाएगा. पेशेंटली थोड़ा सा सोचोगे तो दिमाग के पीछे होगा कहीं पे आ जाएगा फिर दिमाग में आगे. It might be there in the subconscious mind. As I said, yes, Aviral, the best will be excellent. So rest assured, provided you have done all your reading, you will get a topic, say for the last 6 to 7 months, जो हुआ है, whether in the country or in the world, whatever has happened, they will come up with some or the other topic related to that. It may be in any manner. Sentence structure अलग होगा, लेकिन related. I'll be giving you the major topics also, जिस पे तुम थोड़ा बहुत अभी और पढ़ सकते हो, या 10-10, 15-15 मिनट उस टॉपिक के बारे में पढ़ भी लेना, if you want to read, right? So now what to write? I was there before Aviral asked me that question. So what to read? Sorry, what to write and how to think about it. So you can write your facts and figures. अब देखो faces वाला एक acronym कैसे बना. फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स मतलब जो भी हम टॉपिक लिखेंगे अगर टेक्नोलॉजी है तो कुछ ना कुछ तो आ ही जाएगा, कोई रिसर्च वर्क आ जाएगा उसमें, राइट? कुछ एनवायरमेंटल एंगल अगर हम लिखते हैं तो डेफिनेटली यू कैन कम अप विथ एनालॉजीज ऑल्सो. कंपैरिजन एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट कर सकते हैं, व्हाट वाज देयर 20 years back and what the situation is now. In that way also you can write what the situation is in India and what it is in US or UK. That also you can write. So there can be comparisons, they can be contrasts. You can come up with analogies. Analogies means a similar structure, right? The same point of view being depicted in another angle. Facts and figures, of course, if you know exact, do use them. If not, don't use approximately how much, about how much. वो नहीं करना, वो ऐसे बड़ा लूज स्टेटमेंट्स लगते हैं, वो मत करना. That is called a weak word. So do not use those weak words. So facts and figures you can come up with, analogies you can mention, comparison and contrast. Of course, you can give examples and you can give rational, scientific explanation to it. Be logical, stay logical. ये हम हमेशा बोलते हैं. So stay logical. Idealistic नहीं, logical, rational, practical. ऐसा हो भी सकता है तो लिखना. ऐसा होना चाहिए जरूरी नहीं है. Not a state of utopia you need, right? They want to see what is relevant and what is practical. वो देखेंगे. Clear? So I gave you another short trick. Pirates and then faces. Conclusion. In a nutshell, how are you going to bind all these things together, wrap them up and state? छोटा सा conclusion होगा, ज़्यादा lengthy नहीं होगा. Give your opinion there. Wrap up all that you have given. So conclusion will not be like mentioning everything again. No. It will be a combination of what you have written and the main idea that you have in your mind. Because that is not what you have stated in the first paragraph. Introduction में आपने अपना opinion नहीं दिया था. Right? First, second paragraph, third paragraph, fourth paragraph. You came up with the reasoning there. 3 pointers. Conclusion में wrap those points up and give them. So in a nutshell क्या है? And something that is relevant to the analysis, well, again, you can end it with a speech, with a quote. You can end it with, as I said earlier, in a positive tone. then it will be okay. वो automatically तुम end कर लोगे. Again, it always depends on the thought process that is going there in your mind when you see the topic. तो अपने आप वो develop होता जाएगा. बिल्कुल. ठीक है. तुम लोगों ने ऐसे लिखे भी होंगे ना. You must have written them. Yes, अविरल. जैसे पैसेज हम समझने के लिए करते हैं वैसे ही लिखना भी है आपको. So now you are on the other side of the table. So you are not the reader now, you are the writer. So write it in this manner that your thoughts become very clear to the person who is reading it. Right? Come on, ये हो जाएगा हमारा intro plus body plus conclusion. अब थोड़े से do's and don'ts देख लेते हैं फटाफट. You just keep on checking and note down quickly. So of course what we need is correct grammar, और वो most of you do not study, have not studied. Fine, no problem. Don't worry. If you have been reading, so your sentences will be automatically correct. बहुत सोच के करोगे ना इसको कौन से टेंस में लिखेंगे, अरे ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. राइट. स्पॉन्टेनियस राइटिंग होगा. बी पेशेंट, डोंट ओवरथिंक. Right, your ideas simultaneously changing into sentences वो होना चाहिए. You still have a little time, so you can write down a few essays also. Right? छोटे छोटे, when I take 15 minutes and write something, accordingly you will be able to write say about 300 words. Pick up, I'll be giving you many articles. Start writing on that. At least you will see your own thought process कि मैं कुछ सोच के लिख सकता हूँ या नहीं. वो कर लेना पूरे दिन बैठ के. ठीक है. तो ग्रामर करेक्ट होनी चाहिए. सिंपल अंडरस्टैंडेबल वोकैबुलरी, एज आई सेड अर्लियर. डोंट यूज ओवर बोम्बास्टिक वर्ड्स, नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. स्पेलिंग शुड बी करेक्ट. उसमें स्पेल चेक नहीं लगेगा आपका. तो स्पेलिंग अपने आप सही होनी चाहिए. And connectors, of course, to properly display the flow of idea. Connectors, this is what we have. We note down also while doing the passages. No, we circle many a times. However, in fact, indeed, or in spite of, moreover, nevertheless, ये सारे words होते हैं. अब use कर सकते हो if they are giving you the turn in the thought. Then use such words. Right. Another pointer to keep in mind, make sure that the time is managed well. Spend first few minutes restructuring your thoughts. ये मैंने पहले भी दिया है, तो अभी in the fag end of this, I'm giving you again so that you are noting it down. Right? Contemporary topics of national and international relevance तुम्हें ये सब पढ़ना है. Logical रहोगे तुम, हमेशा LAW वाला ध्यान में रखना, ये भी रहना है. And assertive in your writing, no requirement to use flowery language, and be optimistic in your writing. That is what I had given you first. This was just a repetition. Don'ts में abbreviations नहीं use करना. Dictionary definitions not required to give. Quoting obvious figures. Obvious figures है मतलब पता है सब लोगों को ये है, तो unnecessary नहीं देना कि उन्हें मुझे भी पता है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं करना है. Requirement हो तो ही देना. पूरा पैसेज ना, don't fill it with data there. No, your thoughts matter a lot, not the data. Data, as you know, is a supporting idea, right? Weak words, empty words. No opinion is given there. Weak words में मतलब क्या होता है? I think, in my opinion. Why do you use these words? In my opinion मतलब तो किसी और का opinion थोड़ी लिख रहे हो तुम लोग. If you're writing an essay, तुम्हारा ही opinion है. तो फिर इतना specifically क्यों बोलना in my opinion? I think, I guess, not required. State it as it is. Clear sentences. Concise. Basically, many people use this word. Basically, approximately, and one more. Categorically speaking. Right? Categorically speaking, होता क्या है categorically? नो इतना बड़ा, फिर स्पेलिंग सोचते रहोगे कि कैटेगोरिकली में आई आएगा, क्या आएगा, डबल एल आएगा, सिंगल एल आएगा. लिखो ही मत ना वो वर्ड्स. आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट, अविरल, मृत्युंजय? आर यू गेटिंग दिस पॉइंट्स? फाइन। अगर ये बात समझ में आ गई तो सिंपल लैंग्वेज, ग्रामर सही होगा, बहुत सोचना नहीं पड़ेगा तुम्हें, स्पेलिंग अपने आप सही आएगी, क्योंकि सिंपल लिखोगे तो स्पेलिंग भी अपने आप सही आ जाएगी। इरेलेवेंट यूज ऑफ वोकेबलरी करनी ही नहीं है, मैं ये तीसरी बार बोल रही हूँ, और इसीलिए बोल रही हूँ क्योंकि देर आर मेनी पीपल हु थिंक कि हमने अगर बहुत अच्छे अच्छे वर्ड्स लिखे ना तो बहुत बढ़िया हो जाएगा, हमें अच्छे मार्क्स मिलेंगे। नहीं, बहुत अच्छे अच्छे वर्ड्स लिखेंगे, बोम्बास्टिक वर्ड्स लिखेंगे तो यू विल गेट एंटैंगल्ड इन योर ओन सेंटेंस, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू डिस्प्ले योर थॉट प्रॉपर्ली। लेट इट बी सिंपल, नॉट रेपिटेटिव। स्टाइल, कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ द सेंटेंसेस अलग होने चाहिए, रेपिटेटिव नहीं होना चाहिए, राइट? अब relevant topics, you have there relation between center and state and UT. अविरल उसमें ऑटो करेक्ट लगेगा तो ठीक है, बट स्टिल यू नो मेनी टाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंस, ऑटो करेक्ट लगता है लेकिन तुमने वर्ड ही गलत लिखा हो, राइट? और वो ऑटो करेक्ट नहीं दिखाएगा कि तुमने कुछ गलत वर्ड लिखा है, पॉसिबल है। सो द टॉपिक्स आई एम गिविंग यू हियर, रिलेशन बिटवीन सेंटर एंड स्टेट, आजकल बहुत चल रहा है, वो दिल्ली वाला जितना केस है वो पूरा पढ़ लेना, ठीक है? सेंटर, स्टेट, यूनियन टेरिटरी, रीड दैट। System of appointment of judges of the HC and the SC, that is High Court and Supreme Court, please. ये भी बहुत recent topics हैं, kindly read about it. Sedition and its abeyance. अविरल वर्स्ट केस नहीं सोचना है, मैंने अभी कहा था पॉजिटिव नोट होना चाहिए, तो बी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक, stay optimistic, then you will be able to write good. See what happens that if you have good thoughts in your mind, you will be able to do something good only, right? If you have good thoughts in your mind, you're not going to write bad. Understand? So stay optimistic and you'll be using good words. So sedition and its abeyance, forum shopping, इसके बारे में पढ़ लेना जरूर. Everything is related to your domain. So kindly read about it. Uniform Civil Code, and then of course demonetization and its effects, what was earlier and now what it is going to have an effect now on the people, right? The recent one. So read about it. Yes, Aviral. Here, another list of relevant topics, Sudan crisis. Finland joins NATO. So NATO से related थोड़ा बहुत होना चाहिए क्योंकि रशिया यूक्रेन वॉर के बारे में भी बहुत कुछ होता है, ठीक है? And if you've been reading about it, so you know, but brush up everything that you have been reading for the last say 3-4 months, ठीक है? थोड़ा बहुत और पढ़ लेना. सेंट्रल विस्टा प्रोजेक्ट है, बेनिफिशियल फॉर फ्यूचर और वेस्ट ऑफ मनी, ये भी एक बड़ा रीसेंट सा टॉपिक है, सो रीड अगेन अबाउट इट. रीसेंट डिजास्टर्स, ठीक है? डिजास्टर्स का हम यूजुअली पढ़ते नहीं है, इतना सुन लेते हैं, बट वी डोंट कंटिन्यू विद द रीडिंग ऑफ दैट मैटर, राइट? सो लैंडस्लाइड्स, ब्रिज कोलैप्स था, साइक्लोन्स हुए थे, टर्की में अर्थक्वेक हुआ था, ये कुछ पिछले 6-7 महीने में, एक साल में ये हुआ है. If you read one or two articles on that also, again as I said, it is going to take hardly 10 minutes on it. Don't make notes, कुछ मत करो, बिल्कुल शांति से बैठ कर इसके बारे में पढ़ लेना, right? तो possible by chance कुछ आ जाता है तो you'll be able to write, you won't be blank about that matter, right? A viral that you were afraid of, तो वो ब्लैंक नहीं रहेगा. ये काफी सारे डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट, कौन सा वाला इंसिडेंट हम अवॉइड कर सकते थे, उस पे भी ओपिनियंस है अबाउट दैट ब्रिज कोलैप्स एंड ऑल. सो राइट, रीड अबाउट इट. हियर अगेन अनदर थिंग, एंटी कन्वर्जन लॉज, ब्लू इकोनॉमी पॉलिसी, यूज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन एंड कम्युनिकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी इन द इंडियन जुडिशियल सिस्टम. यस, सोशल डिग्निटी ऑफ वुमेन, इट्स एन एवरग्रीन टॉपिक, कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं, कुछ भी लिख सकते हैं. इससे रिलेटेड जितने लॉज, बिल्स जो भी है वो सब पढ़ लेना. एंड इंडिया द फिफ्थ लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी, बाय चांस इकोनॉमी पे आ जाता है तो देन द सिचुएशन और द सिनेरियो, द प्रेजेंट इकोनॉमिक सिनेरियो ऑफ इंडिया, सी दैट वेज. देन हियर सोशल मीडिया, अगेन यूज मिसयूज बहुत कुछ, मैंने तो अभी इसको शॉर्ट में लिखा है, सोशल मीडिया यूज मिसयूज, पर सोशल मीडिया से रिलेटेड कुछ भी आ सकता है. इसके बारे में पढ़ना नहीं है अभी, वो अपने आप आ जाएगा, तुम्हें लिख लेना. इंटरनेट भी बून और बेन, यू कैन राइट ऑन इट. कैपिटल पनिशमेंट के लिए थोड़ा सा, क्योंकि ये दीज आर टेक्निकल टॉपिक्स, राइट, सो टू से, so you should have that proper words terminology there. So right, think, read. Startup India, characteristics of a leader, एक बड़ा ऐसे वेग सा टॉपिक है. यूथेनेसिया, legalized or no, ये है. And Article 370, of course, you have been reading in your yes, Avidal. So, Article 370, read about it because again, it is related to your domain and there are so many things about it. तो थोड़ा सा structured, उस पे possible हो तो थोड़ा सा notes जैसे बना लेना. If it is possible, don't worry. But because it needs proper words and clauses, I suppose. So read about it properly. Strict punishment to ministers involved in scams. About, again, it will be your opinion, so no need to read anything about it. Judiciary interfering with the executive or the other way around also, ये भी हो सकता है. ठीक है, तो कुछ केसेस जहां पे जुडिशरी और एग्जीक्यूटिव का एक टसल जैसे हुआ था, कुछ recent मंथ्स में कुछ हमने पढ़ा है ये. And if you've been following the editorials, you're reading the editorials, you have gone through these articles, I think so. So just see about a few cases there. राइट टू प्राइवेसी एंड डेटा प्रोटेक्शन इजी है. एडवेंट ऑफ ओटीटी, ओटीटी के बारे में कुछ भी आ सकता है. राइजिंग पॉपुलेशन, ये एक ऐसा टॉपिक है कि राइजिंग पॉपुलेशन इन इंडिया हमेशा हम एज अ बेन मानते हैं, बट इफ इट इज अ बून और अ बेन देन यू कैन कम अप विद द प्रॉस ऑल्सो ऑफ अ राइजिंग पॉपुलेशन. ठीक है, एक पॉजिटिव एंगल थोड़ा सा सोच के देखना, क्योंकि हम अक्सर क्या करते हैं, वी ओनली थिंक ऑन द नेगेटिव साइड. एज आई सेड, बी पेशेंट एंड थिंक. ऑनलाइन लर्निंग मोर एफिशिएंट देन ट्रेडिशनल लर्निंग, फाइन, ये बहुत बार तुमने कुछ किया होगा, इसके ऊपर पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. डिफेमेशन भी क्रिमिनलाइज, अगेन टॉपिक रिलेटेड टू योर डोमेन, यू नीड टू रीड. सो डिफेमेशन, डिफेमेशन लॉ, जो कुछ भी है उसके बारे में पढ़ लेना. रोल ऑफ गवर्नर इन फेडरल पॉलिटी, गवर्नर के ऊपर भी अभी काफी सारे कुछ इंसिडेंट्स हुए हैं. तमिलनाडु गवर्नर, इफ यू रिमेंबर, it was quite a lot in the newspapers maybe 2 months back. Read about those few cases. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, इसके cases पढ़ लेना. Criminalization of marital rape, इस पर भी कुछ cases हुए, and you've done this in your legal sessions also. So kindly go through whatever you have done in your legal sessions, right? Reforms in the lower judiciary, constitutionality of the sedition law. Should collegium system be replaced? इसके बारे में भी you have to read, because again this is a very hot topic in the recent 2-3 months. And of course Russia Ukraine, though it is going on since I think so 17 or 18 months हो गए होंगे अभी, तो थोड़ा बहुत इसके बारे में पढ़ भी लेना. So I hope अभी सैम्पल इससे पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. I have given you quite a lot. Ban on plastic, environment versus economy. It will take you hardly 1 minute or so if you are patient enough. We'll just see the topic, ban on plastic, environment versus economy. So we need to give two things now. Integral, ये intro जैसा हो जाएगा. So integral part of our lives now, utilization plastic has considerably increased within the last 20 years. All this you can write. Damage the flora and fauna to curb the rapid degradation of the environment. Here are the plastic harms, how plastic harms the environment. So plastics are difficult to decompose. एक point हो गया. It takes about 500 to 1000 years. Right? They are permanent pollutant. So the word permanent pollutant हमें समझ में आना चाहिए in that way. Disposal of plastic is another factor. Write about it. Wild animals directly indirectly consume plastic. Fine. बस इतना दिमाग में आना चाहिए कि प्लास्टिक है तो एनवायरमेंट पे फर्क पड़ेगा. Animals are there. It is going to affect the animals also. And then the demand for plastic. Worldwide demand is this much, overuse of this much, and destruction. So what is that plastic harming, or how it is harming us? That will be given in 1 or 2 paragraphs. Another 2 paragraphs will give us how it can harm the economy. If there is a ban, how it is going to harm the economy. Plastics are cheap, lightweight, sturdy. Immediate alternatives to plastic being paper bags and cloth are expensive and aren't durable. Plastic चल जाएगा. Plastic bags being less durable and reliable and may affect the security of products that are packed. If the products are full of alternatives, the value of the general product will rise. And plastic industry is growing at a rapid pace, which was expected to grow to $1.3 billion. Anything related to that plastic ban, plus minus दोनों लिख देना. Now, the last thing, example essay. This is an essay written by one of my students. I'm taking it as an example to show you how very subconsciously we'll be making mistakes in writing. ठीक है, और क्या क्या अवॉइड करना है, इससे एक पैराग्राफ में तुम्हें समझा देती हूँ. Right? So, if anything needs to be, see the topic. Should judiciary be under the aegis of the government? Now, वो should पूछा है, मतलब opinion पूछा है. If anything needs to be unbiased and much fair, it needs to be free from passion and other vested interest. Fine. If we try to make out the essence of principles of natural justice, even it states that judgment should be done fairly and every side needs to be listened. अब देखो यहाँ पे grammatical error भी आ गया और redundancy भी हो गई. Unnecessary exaggeration हो गया. It is title आप कैसे लिखोगे? You have the topic given to you, no? Then you write it. Right? Main points you don't need to write there in the major article. नहीं, अभी इसमें समझो कैसे लिखा है उसने. Even it says that judgment should be done fairly. So it should be a fair judgment. Judgment should be done fairly में चार words यूज हो जाते हैं और fair judgment होना चाहिए बस. Every side needs to be listened to. Fair justice is a right of everyone. So fair justice is everybody's right. बर्थ राइट होता है वो जस्टिस. तो फेयर जस्टिस क्या होता है? अभी रिडंडेंसी हो जाता है. जस्टिस का मतलब, इफ आई से दैट दिस इज अ जस्ट यूज ऑफ इट, तो जस्ट मतलब फेयर, राइट? जस्टिस जस्ट यानी फेयर होता है. तो फेयर जस्टिस दोनों वर्ड्स एक साथ नहीं होता है, इसे रिडंडेंसी कहते हैं. और वो पता है जब हम लिखते हैं ना, इट कम्स ऑटोमेटिकली. So we don't need to do this. We need to be very careful. It is very critical to bind people in law and also ensure that their rights are not curtailed in any unreasonable way. Rights are not curtailed in any unreasonable way means rights can be curtailed in a reasonable way. पर वो तो नहीं होना चाहिए. Rights curtailed मतलब गलत. तो फिर reasonable क्यों, unreasonable क्या? ठीक है ना? This was unnecessary extension, exaggeration of that sentence. That should not be done. Right? तो यहाँ पर ये rights are not curtailed in unreasonable way. This was not required. Just like a teacher who keeps all the students equal and then only is able to give his or her best. Now when he says just like a teacher, तो ये एक analogy हो गया. ठीक है, उसने justice की बात करी, फिर उसने teacher की बात की. This is an analogy, example of analogy. Right? Now, then only is able to give his or her best. The same is the situation of the one who keeps the law and order in check. It should be free from any bias. Now, see, there's a comma there. There's no full stop. And he has actually connected three sentences in one. क्यों? Unnecessary, उसे लगा कि ना lengthy sentence होना चाहिए, that is best. जरूरी नहीं है. ऐसे किसी को भी आप ऐड नहीं कर सकते. हम connectors यूज करते हैं. Put a full stop and start another sentence. Then, Indian laws provide for an independent judiciary, which is actually the essence of democracy, fine, where every person, entity is treated equal, be it the government running the nation or the one who keeps the world running, that is God. But then where did God come here? No relation, right? Essence of democracy, where every person, entity is treated equal. इतना where every person, entity is treated equal के बदले equality कहीं पे यूज कर लेते बस. Depicting, this is the essence of democracy, depicting or representing equality. Bas. So unnecessary where every person, entity is treated, not required. Ek word, equality. Just like there are many approaches to see towards a particular issue. Now approaches to see towards a particular issue. Ek word, perspective. Perspective का मतलब approaches to see a matter. And several perspectives हो गया. So instead of those 8 words, you used only 2 words. There are several perspectives. But the approach which holds more public interest and is lawful needs to be taken into account. A brief analysis of it can be done. It can be analyzed. Focus more on the active voice, less on the passive. राइट एक्टिव में ऐसे रहेगा कि हाँ हम लोग कुछ कर रहे हैं पैसिव में ऐसा हो रहा है सो एक्टिव जैसे कहा ना ऑप्टिमिस्टिक होना चाहिए तो वैसे ही वो एक्टिव होना चाहिए राइट अ ब्रीफ एनालिसिस दिस व्हाट विल हैपन इफ द जुडिशरी इज इन द हैंड्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट अब इसने क्या किया coming up with the second paragraph he is stating the point that okay what will be the implication if the judiciary is in the hands of the government but then this should be in the introduction उसने इंट्रोडक्शन वाले पैराग्राफ में बैकग्राउंड बिल्ड कर दिया विच इज कंज्यूमिंग से 6 to 7 लाइन्स एंड देन ही इज कमिंग टू द मैटर ये अवॉइड करना है राइट व्हाई एम आई मेकिंग यू रीड दिस सो दैट यू नो व्हाट इज टू बी अवॉइडेड जो पहले कहा है वो करना राइट आई थिंक सो दिस मच वुड बी इनफ मोस्ट ऑफ यू हैव गॉन थ्रू द होल थिंग एनी problems any doubts you can ask quickly. So I'm not going to give you the whole essay. वो नहीं जरूरत नहीं है. That is all. And of course, yes. Any questions? Kindly ask quickly. Yes, Aviral. Understood. Okay. First, tell me whether you have understood what to write, what to read. ये समझ में आ गया इतना? Yes. So shall we end? If you have any questions, you ask. Otherwise, I'm going to end. Yes. Okay. So we'll end this and all the best. Have a logical day ahead and do read.